I'm on the road to recovery in Castle Rock, Colorado. Live from Millville, New Jersey, I'm on the road to recovery. We're on the road to recovery in Morgantown, West Virginia at Mountaineer Field. And live in Scranton, Pennsylvania, I'm on the road to recovery. Here I am on the road to recovery from Berlin, Maryland. Hey, from Caseville, Michigan, I'm on the road to recovery. I'm on the road to recovery at Ann Arbor, University of Michigan. As we visited Pennsylvania through the Lancaster area, I got a chance to go to Good Works, an incredible sober living environment and a company that's changing lives. And there I met this guy, Kyle. Kyle really impacted me, and I was really looking forward to sharing his story with you. Kyle Diehl, thank you so much for sitting down with us. This is Kyle's story.
Kyle, I'm from Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania. I've been in and out of the rooms, rehabs, jail, since I was about 20 years old. However, this last run got me to the point of total desperation, and I have 19 months of continuous sobriety now. You know, it's been a pretty tough road the past 6-7 years, but you know, things are finally starting to look up because I'm doing what other people are telling me what to do. You know, I went from a jail cell detoxing from about $1,000 habit a day to in less than a year being a part business owner of a restaurant and managing a recovery house here in Ephrata, Pennsylvania. My addiction really started when I was about 19. I had a girlfriend for a good 2 years. I did drugs and drank pretty hard, but nothing too serious, nothing to raise suspicion. After we split up, I really started getting introduced to heroin, and then finally I went to IV. And after that happened, there was no turning around. It was, you know, straight to the races from there. I got sober after about a year. And I remained sober for close to a year, and then I started drinking again. I took my will back, started going around the wrong places, and eventually it led me right back to a needle in my arm. Which, in a matter of months, I was actually at the CIA in New York, Culinary Institute of America, when I started shooting heroin again. And top of my class, I had a 3.8 GPA. I was a group leader, had very promising externships. I mean, I was doing the thing, but you know, the only difference was I was the only kid running to the bathroom every 20 minutes, shooting up, and then coming back. Eventually, I ran out of money. People didn't trust me anymore, so I went and started living with a drug dealer and being his personal caddy. That's how I got to such a severe habit in a short amount of time. You know, doing $1,000 worth of drugs a day, crack and heroin, and then detoxing in a jail cell, you definitely don't feel too well. And you know, hearing my phone or calling my dad on the phone while I was there just was, I was done. I didn't know what else to do. I was at retreat 3 years ago prior to that, so I was like, hey, you know, as soon as I get out, I'm going right back to that. And ever since, you know, my plans changed. I originally wanted to go back and finish my education, but I ended up staying here, and so far everything's been unbelievable, honestly. So, well, I thought I was done. Like, I thought I just fucked up to the extreme, that there was no hope. And when he said, I'm gonna bail you out, after detoxing for, I don't know, I was in there for like 7 days, I was willing to do whatever it would take to get this under control. And that's when I finally realized that I can't do it alone. So I just started doing whatever it needed to be done. I get bailed out. My mom picked me up. It was raining. I'll never forget tonight. She actually went to my dorm room earlier that day and filled her car with all the stuff that was in my dorm room. And I remember sitting with my fan on my lap. It was about 3-hour drives back home. A fan and a ton of my clothes because the car was packed, completely packed. And I go home and to my mom's house, and I was like, hey, I need to go back to retreat. I need to really open up my eyes and listen to what these people tried to teach me 3 years ago. But that feeling, I've never felt something so low before that moment of sitting in that jail cell for 23 hours out of the day, sicker than hell, you know, sweating, being hot, being cold, chills, you know, it was unbearable. I don't ever want to go back to that. I finally heard what everyone's been trying to tell me previously. You know, I used to do NA. You know, I had a really good relationship with my sponsor, but I wasn't truly willing to surrender everything. You know, I thought my will was still okay as long as I listen to some of what he's got to say. I can still do what I want to do too, which led me to drinking and stuff like that. But this time it was completely different. Like, I knew there was no other choice just because of the experiences I had previously, that I have to be submerged into this if I want to stay sober. I actually come to this house that we're filming this in right now. I was here for almost 10 months straight. It was a little scary in the beginning, just because I've never done anything like this before. But the longer I was around, the more friends that I met, it became a lot easier. You know, I lost some good friends, overdoses and stuff like that. But I realized the longer I was here, the easier it was becoming to get help. So after 10 months of being here, I was asked to manage a house on my own, and I still do that to this day. You know, running a business and managing a recovery house is definitely very stressful at times. However, I need a recovery house. I mean, it helps me, and I get to help other people. At the bottom, at the end of the day, that's what this program is about. So, recovery life for me, it definitely wasn't perfect. I definitely had some patches of complacency and stuff like that. However, going to meetings and being honest was really big, and building connection with people. When I first came to this area, I knew no one, not one person. Now I have a very big support group around me that will call me, I'll call them, you know, vice versa. You know, relationships with the people in these rooms, you know, I think about it a lot. I never really opened up to a lot of people, so I never truly got close to people. But when you're in this atmosphere for so long and doing what you need to do and opening up, there's a connection that I can't truly explain. It's true love is what it really comes down to, which, you know, was taught to me in the beginning. You know, if I couldn't love myself, how could I love someone else? So that, to me, is definitely something new.
Kyle, thank you so much for sharing your story with us for On the Road to Recovery. I appreciate you sharing and opening up about your addiction, about your struggles, and most importantly, about your amazing life in recovery. These stories are critically important to share with other people. And as I travel America, if you know someone who's got a story of recovery that they want to share with me so I can share it with the world, please reach out, become part of the Recovery Army, and as we go on our road to recovery, we hope to share these stories with other people. From Lancaster, Pennsylvania, I'm Michael De Leon, and we'll see you on the next episode of On the Road to Recovery.